Welcome to Jlopez Podcast. Today I'm your host, George, and we have an amazing, God blessing gift. Friend of ours, Pete.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, Pete.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to share an amazing story I know you got behind that beautiful face of yours.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me, man. Honestly, um, I've seen what you're doing. This is very smart component to today's business. I don't think a lot of HVC contractors or even just businesses are capitalizing on, right? Where they may see it as a hard task to do. I know that you're using this for motivation,
Correct.
like first and foremost for motivation. Everything else that comes out of it is God's blessings, but it's just motivation, right? Like I can do it, you can do it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's how. So when you asked me, I was like, I'm all in. Like I didn't ask the questions, I didn't ask what the parameters were. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
So, but thank you,
It's
appreciate you.
it's so what we're trying exactly. You got the whole idea. I think you walked in on a manager's meeting we were kind of having.
Yeah,
That was exactly what you were saying, Pete. The reason why I built this is because it began to be my hobby. I wanted to keep it that way.
yeah,
You know, we're living in an era where we want to make money out of everything,
sure,
and this is the one thing that I do that I'm not worried about
yeah,
getting something in return, rather than just people like you that have something to say and that probably can reach another heart that can be blessed and helped, right? So with that being said, Pete, let's go into a little bit of your story and your background, how you got from your childhood,
yeah,
from that kid
yeah.
to this grown ass man that you are now, but
Yeah.
still got a kid. Still got a
Oh
kid
yeah,
in him.
yeah. I'm a kid at heart, to be honest with you. I'm well with all the kids in my family. Like I was just with over the holidays with my brother's kids, my sister's kid, and just rolling around in the backyard. Like I just had a hernia surgery like a month and a half ago. I'm in the ground. They're on climbing on top. I'm a kid at heart. Needless to say. Nah, man. Born and raised in Queens, New York.
Wow.
Yeah, immigrant parents. You know, kind of the same story. But man, I was fortunate enough to travel a little bit. Like my parents moved around for different reasons. When we were younger, my father was a musician,
Mm,
so I got to live in Puerto Rico for a few years. I was in DR every few months. Came back to the States, so I got to experience culture outside of my culture,
right.
within the culture, if that makes any sense, right?
Absolutely.
Nah, man, born and raised in New York, which is my heart. I moved to Miami back in '02 when the New Yorkers were still migrating down here, but still it wasn't a thing, right? Like
Yeah.
it was a thing, but it wasn't like how it is now.
Correct.
But nah, man, grew up playing sports, grew up just always with a keen sense of there's something else happening.
Mm,
Always like in tuned to what's around me. Although I was still a kid, I love riding my bike, getting lost in the park. Like
yeah.
I was out there, right? It was
Yeah.
New
Yeah.
York
Yeah.
City, but I was always in tune. I was always like listening to grown-ups conversations. I was always listening, observing grown-ups as they moved, did things, didn't do things. And honestly, it taught me a lot what to do and what not to do as I grew up, right? So, I had a lot of unpopular choices. I was a kid as a kid, like amongst my friends. So like I was working early. Like
Right.
I remember filing my first income tax 93. I was 11, 12.
What month of '93?
Oh my God.
More or less. Well, '93 in general. So that
Well,
was the year I was born, by the way.
oh, I was born in 81, boss. So I'll be 43 this year. So
Wow.
93, again, this is
You were
this
how old?
11, 12. I mean, there's child labor laws, right? But
Right. But
like
you were already working.
I was working.
Yeah.
Mind you, it was
You and I
I
share a
was
similar
I
story.
was handing out flyers, but my mom was like, "No, you have to understand that a dollar in is not a dollar out, right?" So although I was still going to school, she's like, "Hey, I have a friend that owns a business and it's technology, and they would need somebody to hand out flyers, right? Instead of paying me like off the books, my mom was like, no, you're gonna be on papers, you're gonna work your 4 hours a week or whatever it was,
Beautiful.
but you're gonna file income tax so you can understand what the adults do. And I was like, yeah, I'm all for it. Like, right? Like I wanted to be adult, like kids, they want to be an
Right.
adult, right?
Right,
Like
right,
so
right.
I was like, I'm all for it. So I've been filing taxes since '93. So just to give you, a little insight. So my parents' mentality was like work, work, work.
I think that's such a Latino thing, bro.
100%.
You know,
100%.
like
Get out of school and go work.
even in school, go to work. Go
No,
get your money worth.
I'm getting there.
Yeah,
No,
let's
hold
go.
on. I'm getting there. No, you should give me.
Okay.
I'm a talker, so I'm
Let's go.
long-winded.
Let's go.
long-winded.
I'm all with it.
My wife always criticizes me. She's like, "Get to the point."
No,
get-
I love it. I love it. I'm just, I love it.
It's the funny thing, and I was like, I can't get my story off in few words, even though I'm working on it. Right?
We got all the time in the world, my
no,
man.
no, but I'm working on it. It's something that I'm currently working on it.
I love it.
But yeah, needless to say, like I worked since a very young age, so I know the value of the work. So it's not so much that I gotta go to work, right? Because work is nothing but a 4-letter word.
Yeah.
Either you do it or you don't,
Absolutely.
right? Like we've known this. We've been around enough people to know either you show up to work or you don't show up to work, right? But now once you're there, what are you doing? What are you learning? What are you gonna capitalize
Just had
on?
this conversation with my mom yesterday.
Oh yeah? Tell me about that.
No. I'm more interested in
No,
you.
I love to talk, but I love to learn.
No. The reason why I tell you is because where you're going with this, it's something that we're missing in this generation. So that's why I want to know more about it.
Yeah.
Because I want others to know about it. What's in that kid that not only goes to work,
Oh man.
but it's there working.
Yeah.
So let me know about that.
It's honestly, it's survival. Where I come from, where I can assume we come from, right? It's survival. You don't do it, you don't survive. Plain and simple, right? There's a vast majority of different types of work nowadays. But I think in the grand scheme of things, there's less work. There's less blue collar work, right? Professions and all this, sure, 100%. There's more opportunity to make money, 1,000%.
Absolutely.
Right? And you have to be grateful for technology, right? What we're doing right here, right?
Yeah.
But even then, like I don't know. For me, there's still some fundamental value in like getting up in the morning, going to the office or hitting the road. Like my job right now is to be on the road getting new customers. I'd rather be, yes, don't get me wrong, I do it. And I'm going to continue to do it because I want to be successful. But I'd rather have an hour of this.
Right.
Off the cameras, but I'd rather have an hour of this because I know this is going to go further than 10 minutes. I'm in and out. I give you a service. You pay, buy a product, pay a bill, and you're out the door. No, I'd rather have this because although I may not get the sale today, right? Although that's not what I'm thinking about, but I might not get the sale today. I might get it tomorrow, next week, a month from now. You know this. You know this, right?
Of course.
But
yeah, because we get to share an hour here, but we've shared many hours already off camera where
100%.
where we feel safe and comfortable in here.
And build that relationship,
Of course.
build that rapport, right? Which I think it's missing nowadays, right? Because now with the phones and technology, it's like, hey, hi, hey, bye. Out of sight,
It's
out of
very
mind.
transactional.
Yeah, and also there's not. I don't think there's a lack of empathy. There's a lack of disconnect. Although we could be communicating all day long over the phone and the computer, but it's very short and brief. There's no connection.
Right.
I'm looking for the connection.
Beautiful, man.
Plain and simple. I'm looking for.
And
the
I know
connection.
that.
You know this. You know this, right? But I'm always looking for why because, again, it's human in us to do so. But I think civilization at the moment we've kind of lost that, right? So again, long-winded explanation to go to say, hard worker, I love to work. I love the grind.
Yeah.
I love to get better. I like to fail fast so I could shorten that learning curve, right? Because I want to be better than I was yesterday.
100%, brother.
I tell that to my kids.
And you're living by that example
100%.
every day.
I have to.
And I've seen you be that example.
Thank you.
From, like you said, from far away. I don't get to go to your office so often and
Sure.
things like that.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit, it's in one of my questions.
Yeah.
I just want to leave it towards later.
Sure.
That juicy part
Yeah.
of that, because I'm also very interested in that New Yorker that got here at 2002.
Yeah.
Because I don't see you as a New Yorker, right? You got
Yeah.
such a beautiful heart in you
Yeah.
that whenever I do speak to any New Yorkers, it's like
It's a little different.
it's a little different.
Yeah.
You know, they got a different animal in them. So
Yes.
I'm interested on how you grow up in New York, but you know, you
not
do
have
have
that-
the hustle of a New
Yes,
Yorker for
yes,
sure,
Yes.
but you're not as aggressive as the New Yorkers I know.
Exposure leads to expansion. Shout out to Fred Taylor.
Ooh, let's go.
Exposure leads to expansion. I was exposed early. I saw, again, going from New York. My father was a musician. We moved to Puerto Rico. Everything's in Spanish.
Yeah.
I'm used to speaking English in school, so now I got to take math in Spanish, science in Spanish, history
You went
in
the
Spanish.
complete opposite of what I did, by the way. You grew up here and now you go to a Latin country. I grew up in Cuba. I'm now in America.
And culture shock.
Wow.
Culture shock.
Wow.
Now I'm the odd one out, where I was just, kindergarten, first grade. I'm one of many. Puerto Rico, I'm the odd one out. But I just, again, instead of like bowing down, or like as a kid, mind you, I'm second grade or whatever it was, the first time I went to Puerto Rico to go to school, everything's in Spanish. They're used to their culture.
Correct.
And again, we're all Latin, we're all Hispanics, right? And Puerto Rico to the DR to Cuba, it's
Right there.
right there, right? But it's a culture shock. So now I have to learn how to adapt to them, be a chameleon to them. So now it's, my Spanish has gotten better, right? Because I'm a kid, right? So, from a Spanish household, you speak Spanish, but you learn Spanish as you get older. You read it, you write it. So I have to adapt to them. So because of that, I'm exposed to something different. So I have to expand.
So valuable right there, by the way.
Basic, but huge.
Yeah.
Right? Back to New York, back to Puerto Rico. So second grade, Puerto Rico, third grade, New York, fourth grade, Puerto Rico. But now fourth grade is a little different because now I know what to expect.
Right.
But now guess what? We're in fourth grader. Now you're a little older. Kids are a little smarter. Kids are a little bit more sharper. So now it's a new challenge, because now, yes, I know how to speak the language. I know how to communicate. I got the accent down, Sometimes when I speak Spanish, el boricua se me sale.
Claro.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm Dominican. Like, you put a típico right now. We out here,
Yeah.
My father was a percussionist. Like, I can get busy, right?
What did he play?
He was a master percussionist. Tambora, guira, timbal, conga, bongo, you name it.
There's a trumpet right there. That's mine.
Funny enough, I played trumpet in junior high school for the band.
No, for the marching band.
For the marching band. For
Let's
the marching
go.
band. Now you
I was a trumpet player for the marching band.
Yo,
I
Chris-
walked away. I know I'm going off a little bit of your story,
I
but
love it.
so I was a marching band trumpet player, and I walked away for after high school. That's
Yeah.
it. I didn't do it anymore, and I just got it back, and I'm like,
Oh, no.
I'm rusty.
No. I could probably hit the high, EFG, hit the high, and
Yeah.
But,
no way you play the trumpet.
yeah, man.
Oh
And that's
man,
because
there's so many things out. When we keep talking,
sure.
so many more things add us and tie us up on how we get along that it goes above and beyond of what we even know.
It's the energy, boss.
It's the energy, bro. It's the energy. But anyway, your father was a musician. You're back in fourth grade in Puerto Rico.
Back in Puerto Rico, just again learning. Exposure leads to expansion. I'm just learning, and now I'm like, okay, now there's girls involved. Now there's bullies involved. Now there's the fifth graders trying to get it. Like, there's so many different variables that as a kid, as an adult, you're like, oh, just go to school, do your work. Like, but as a kid, you're living in it, right? Every day is big.
Right.
Every summer is long.
Right.
Every classroom, every period it's a whole different world, right? So again, that leads me to like learn a little bit more, see a little different, see how adults interact with the fourth graders and the fifth graders and the principal and just all this. Going back to New York now, fifth grade in New York.
Wow.
Again, it's just now it's different. Now it's like, wait a second. Now I'm coming into fifth graders in New York, streets of New York. Like, we walk to school.
Yeah.
Like, we take the bus, we take the train. I don't know. You have kids now.
I have a grown up. Yeah.
Okay. When they were little, did you allow them to walk 24 blocks to go to school by themselves?
So I missed that part. It's my wife's daughter.
Ask
But
her.
right now, right now, in this particular case, she had a bodyguard taking her to school because she was raised in Venezuela. So it was totally different for sure.
A bodyguard. You know who my bodyguard was?
Nobody. Yourself.
Yeah, I had to walk fast enough and slow enough where I can catch up to the other pack of kids walking to school to make sure if there was danger in the neighborhood, I had people to like maneuver with.
Right.
Because if you were by yourself and you get caught out there, you got
But
caught out
that
there.
was me when I grew up in Cuba. Yeah, I was trying to exactly like you.
But now nowadays would you let a kid like I wouldn't my kids go to the front of the house, they have to be supervised.
Yeah.
That's the front of the house.
The thing is that we live in a mean world now.
We've always lived in a mean world, but it was different times.
Yeah, different times.
Right? But I'm grateful for those times because those times
sure.
made me who I am today. Made me
100%,
tough.
Pete.
And go to answer again, long-winded, but to answer your question, being around those situations, now I can see and look at things a little differently because now I know who the bully is. I know what corner they stand on. So if it might take me an extra 4 minutes to get to school, but on this block, I can make a left, go around the block, 2 blocks down, then cut right back, get in the path to school, then I can avoid them. I'm 8 years old, 9 years. Yeah, it's
streets give you that.
You know what I'm saying?
The streets give you that wisdom. It's,
So
it's like you're saying, fail fast.
fail fast, and learn quicker, right?
Yeah.
So because of that, yeah, I have the hustle and bustle from New York. I can, I've learned when to turn that on, but I've also learned how to be a chameleon and just kind of step back. I'm a talker. I love to talk, but I love to stay quiet and just listen and observe and watch everybody how you move. I mean, 10 minutes ago, you're interviewing somebody, not to put your business out there. I'm in the middle of a call, technical service, calling a customer. I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
Right?
I know you.
I picked up something.
Of course.
I was the manager, so my interviewing skills and, people, a people leader are different from other people leaders, right?
Correct.
But I just picked something up.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold up. That's going to be in my pocket until
good.
I need it. After I use it, I'm like, hey, George, remember that one time that you did that one thing with this one interviewee?
Yeah.
I just used it. It worked.
I can't wait for that moment. I'm not even going to ask you what it was,
No,
I can't wait
it's
for that
simple.
moment. Yeah.
It's simple.
Because I have many of those as well.
It's simple, but those gems. So being alert and being aware and being open and being receptive of what's around you, that's what's helped me get to this point. Mind you, I'm nowhere near close to where I want to be, but I know I'm in the right path. Some days are better, some days are, but I know I'm there. I know I'm getting there. With the help of the support cast that I have around me, my beautiful wife, my family, I'm gonna get there.
100%.
We're gonna get there.
I think you're already there. We're just striving for more.
Sorry, man. Just
No,
thinking about a lot.
Yeah, I got you. Again, I'll repeat that. I think we're already there. It's just what the beast in us keeps us going.
Yeah.
So 5th grader back to New York. Give me some more of that juice.
No, I mean it's not. I don't see it. You're sure. I don't see it as juice, man. I just see it as like life moments, teaching moments. Right? What did I learn from that? What did I take away from that? What can I use to shield myself and to help myself propel to keep going?
Man.
Mind you, I'm being a kid.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, this is 3rd grade, living in Jamaica, Queens at the time, walking 24 blocks to go to school. 24 city blocks. This is not
Yeah.
Kendall blocks, Hialeah. No. This is 24 New York City blocks to get to school. As a 2nd grade, I don't know how old are you? 8?
Yeah, around there.
9?
Yeah.
I wouldn't let my kids go to the backyard without,
Come on, in New York.
And this is New York.
Yeah.
In the 90s. Like,
People compare sometimes Miami to New York, but it's nowhere near.
no.
The violence in New York is how much more violence in New York you would say there is?
So there's violence everywhere.
Correct, 100%.
There's certain neighborhoods everywhere, right?
Right.
And I come from a certain neighborhood, right? And I wouldn't trade my experience in those neighborhoods for anything in the world.
They make you who you are.
100%. The violence is going to exist and it's going to be everywhere. Nowadays, it's very dangerous, more so than before, because now it's almost like people are not playing fair. there's more weapons in the streets. Although I am like, I'm not saying for or against guns and things like that. I say more responsibility, right? Um, but it's dangerous. I have a cousin of mine, primo hermano. He's a cop,
Mm.
and he's in one of the boroughs, one of the roughest boroughs, and there's times that
Different now.
before I go to bed,
I
I'm
pray.
texting him, hey, because he's starting his shift
Right.
midnight.
Wow.
Hey, keep your head on a swivel. Text me tomorrow. I bring up any type of conversation I can to say, hey, listen, now I'm going to sleep. Hey, can you remind me tomorrow of whatever, just so I know he's going to text me back tomorrow.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Sorry.
Of course. You ain't gotta be sorry, brother.
No, man. It's
I got a very good friend of mine the same way.
Yeah.
Which by the way, to easing that up, I was just I had a deep conversation with my cousin the other day where we gotta be so careful these days because we used to fist fight.
Yeah. You
A
fight to
fist
live another
fight,
day.
yeah. A
Shoot
fist
the
fight
five.
was fun. Now you
should-
gotta see who you fist fight because all of a sudden they see not even just a little pen and they're
Yeah.
gonna draw their gun out.
Yeah.
There's no more fun in fist fighting somebody
Yeah.
anymore. So I totally get it. Same things with cops. So I love that strategy.
It's and just fist fighting, right? That was the way that I grew up, right? You fight. I had one of my best friends in New York.
Kind of fun.
It was fun to a degree until you got your butt kicked, right?
Well, yeah.
But yeah,
That always tends to happen, but you knew that there wasn't gonna be no guns drawn.
100%. No, not only that, you after the fist fight, and 9 times out of 10, things were over nothing.
Yeah, and then you hug the person like
I
2
swear.
months later.
Listen, one of my best friends in New York, I don't know how many times I fought this guy.
Yeah.
Fist fought. We lived across the street from each other.
Beep bump.
Yo, we fist fought. There was one summer that it was just obnoxious. Like his father, my mom was like, "Yo, you guys gotta stop. You guys stop."
You guys doing it for fun now.
Yo, it from the outside looking in, that's what it seemed like.
Yeah.
Because hours later, we were like, "Yo, let's go to the park. Let's go play some ball."
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, let's get on our bikes and let's go ride around. Chase some tail. Like
My mom used to call it quítate la picazón.
de encima.
Yeah, quítate la picazón and keep going.
It's
But you can't do that anymore, bro. It's like you go out to the street, you start getting vocal with somebody, and all you
it's
see
like,
is all you see. They're
yeah,
trying to
reaching,
hold on
reaching.
to their
No,
waist.
reaching.
Reaching,
And
you
for
know?
what?
Yeah, I have nowadays I avoid any even the simplest
Listen,
contact of argument. It's like, you know
you
what?
have to. Hey, you got it.
You got it, boss.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I got family. I got mortgage.
Well, I got somebody
two-
to go get back to, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, maybe you don't got nothing, but I gotta go back and
Cool.
feed a whole village. You know what I'm saying?
So it's
So over anger management that I can't control, I'm gonna let all this go.
No.
Nah, man.
nah.
Hey, you know what?
There's way too much to lose.
you wanna act the hero? I give it to you, man.
I need a tissue or something, boss, because this is the fountains have opened. And
Hey, Mike, you listening?
you listening, Mike? I need a tissue because I don't know, man. Every time I get around this gentleman right here, we speak about things and it just kind of like just strikes this little
Oh
this
man,
little nerve, and it's like
let me get you that tissue.
inside is like it's burning though. You live in your
Real
learn.
moments, because at the end of the day, Pete is people. That's exactly a reason why this is for what it is, because you can just be real. There's nothing to be sorry about, man. We're
There
human.
isn't. We're human.
We're human. We have feelings.
Yep.
And some, like you said, every time we're around, even both of us tear up. So this is the most realest moment. This is the most realest room that you can ever be in.
Thank you, man.
Like I
Appreciate
said
you.
at the beginning, this is nowhere near something I'm trying to monetize,
Sure.
because I want it to be this authentic all the time. You know,
And I've seen
you
it.
got to be real. You got to
I've
be
seen
real about it.
I've seen it, and it's clear, right? The few clips that I've seen, the podcasts I've listened, like it's clear what the intention is,
Absolutely,
right?
bro.
So again, thank you,
No,
thank
thank
you.
you, man. Thank you.
But yeah, man.
Thank you for being so real in a space like this, where cameras are around, people get to tense up, but you're
Sure.
just being as real as you can, and the same guy I met the first day.
I don't know how else not to be, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can swip the switch. You can swip the switch.
Yeah, if I need to,
if you need to.
if I need to, but I don't think this situation calls
Not
for
at
it.
all,
So
brother, not at all.
so we're
not at
good.
all. But okay, Take it back.
Sure. Okay, so New York, then a lot of years later, moved to Miami. Again, like I said, '02. Um, Still with my New York mentality.
Mm.
In Florida, came to realize again, new scene,
But
new environment.
you're already used to adapting fast.
100%. But again, now I spent my good part of my teenage years, my young adulthood in New York. I have this certain, you know, energy, right? When I moved to Miami, I have the same energy. And slowly but surely, it just starts dwindling until I start adapting to my surroundings and understanding this is not New York. This is Miami, right? But also, more importantly, now I'm, 21, 22. Now life is happening, right? Adulthood is happening. What are you doing, right? So I'm like, okay. And that always stays in the back of my mind, right? Because
Yeah.
although I've had jobs and all this, I know I was like, I need to do more. So no matter what my situation was, it's like, I need to do more. No matter what part of situation I was in, I was like, I need to do more, right? Um, so after many years of working and having a job and a decent job at that,
Right.
having a lot of perks, being able to travel, doing all this, I was like, something's missing, right? And I was like, you know what? Um, at that time, my younger brother, he was like, I'm going to school. And I was like, oh, wait, my brother's going to school after so many years. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to school. And I started my college journey. Mind you, this is 11, 12 years after high school. I never thought about going to college
Wow.
after high school, right? Because it was work, right? During high school, I had 3 jobs. I was working in the mall. I had 2 jobs I was working.
Granted.
I was a
And
party promoter during the weekends.
That's what your parents already taught you to
Work.
do.
Work. Right?
Get money, save money.
Work. Just work. You can't be home. You got to work. I'm like, all right. So going back to school, I was like, oh, I gotta make this a mission. Like, it's a mission. Like, that's my target. My target is to graduate. What am I gonna do? I have no idea, but my target is to graduate. Um, Again, 11, 12 years removed out of high school. Going back to school was hard because I had to learn how to learn again.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, of course, because I got on the same boat.
So I'm 20 something year old, late 20 something year old going back to college with taking remedial classes with
With young
18-year-olds, 19-year-olds.
Yeah. I've been there.
And I'm like, wait, I can't, And funny story, going into my, I guess, sophomore year, Dade, right? I was in Dade. I got on the dean's list, and I didn't know what that meant. In coming from New York, anytime you heard the word dean, like, you're in trouble. You got to go to the dean's office. Like, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
100%. Like, you effed up. You got to go to the
Yeah,
dean's
yeah,
office.
yeah.
So I go to my counselor and I was like, hey, listen, it says congratulations. You made the dean's list, but I don't know what that means. Like, where I come from,
Break it
same
down.
thing. Yeah, can you help me? She's like, congratulations, you made the dean's list. I was like, okay, what does that mean? She's like, oh, you've passed all your classes with all A's. Like, it's an acknowledgement to. I was like, I was taken back. I was like, wait, so they recognized me for getting straight A's? I was like, yeah, absolutely. You make the list, and then you make the list again. Like, you get offers to scholarships, and I was like, oh, wait, you could pay for school? All right, hold on. So now I became addicted to be getting on the dean's list.
What an addiction. That's a good one, bro.
They effed up. Now I'm in class. I'm the first one there. I'm the one staying after class talking to the professors. I'm booking office hours with the professors. I'm trying to get more. I need more information. All my business professors, all my marketing professors, I need more. What do you know? What do you know that I don't know? Right? I have a lot of work experience.
What a beautiful interest, man.
I have a lot of work experience. I've been in the labor force since 93.
You're grinding.
What do you know? What can you help me? What can you add to my arsenal to make me a better student?
Your work ethic is now there, and you went back and got your school ethic and got addicted to. They recognized you for straight A's, and you say, "Hold on, man.
No,
If
wait.
this is the way that it's gonna
yeah,
go.
yeah.
I'm addicted to
Yeah,
it now."
it was
Which, by the way, people get addicted to the wrong things.
sure, 100%.
You got addicted to knowledge,
Yeah.
and knowledge gives you wisdom.
Yeah.
That now you can see it in
exposure
and exposure
leads to expansion.
leads to expansion.
It's
Exactly.
it's basic, but it's going from that getting straight A's, Dean's List. Now I get out of Dade. I was like, well, I want to go to FIU. I want to go to a better school. Not the same Dade is bad, but I learned Dade. I was like, let me get something, I go to FIU. Now FIU, Dean's List, Dean's List. Every semester, Dean's List, Dean's List, Dean's List. I was like, all right. I go sit down. We're coming up on junior year, going into senior year. I go sit down with the counselor. There's like, oh, get ready for graduation, And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna graduate. I'm trying to graduate with honors, right? Because now Dean's List, you have a certain GPA. There's like, what's your major? I was like, oh, business, I was like, oh, cool, simple major, There was like, well, if you take these extra, 6 classes, you can actually graduate with 2 degrees. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, well, all your business classes also have like marketing classes, right? I was like, oh, I love marketing. Like it's business, it's sales and marketing. It's like hand in hand, right? There's like, well, if you take these extra, X amount of classes, you could graduate with 2 degrees. I was like, all right. I was like, so now from the end of my junior year, I go to summer school. I'm going full-time summer school, 6 classes summer school, because I want to accelerate, right?
Yeah.
Fall,
like you said before,
I'm trying to get there. And
not only you apply the theory or fail fast, but also let me get this knowledge way faster.
Way faster.
I can graduate now with 2 degrees.
2 degrees.
With the less period of time.
100%.
Beautiful, man.
So extra classes, summer, fall, spring, summer, graduate in the fall. 2 degrees with honors. So to graduate now and hold this diploma and have my mom see me walk down, get my diploma.
What day was that?
This was 2000. My son was already born, so I'm gonna say 2018.
Your son was already born.
My son was already born.
Come on, man.
He was a baby.
Come on, man.
He was a baby. I have pictures with him,
man.
I have pictures.
You
with
thinking
him
it's too late? If you still thinking it's too late, come on, man. Look at his life story.
I have my son. My son was born, and my mom watching me walk. My brother in school at the time in Puerto Rico, funny enough, because he was studying to be a pastor. Flew down for the day to watch me walk.
Wow.
Oof. My sister was there, my family, it was good.
What a blessing, God's moment.
100%,
there, bro. For sure.
And man,
let that sink in, bro. Let that sink in.
No. I'm good, man. It's just like I want to do push-ups. I want to,
Yeah.
Nah, man. It was a moment for me.
Of course, bro. I can feel it.
It was. I set a goal.
It was such a rewarding moment, just walking down that aisle, especially having family there. I know how that feels like, bro.
You don't understand. Well,
I do.
I do understand,
I do.
Like the rewarding
and
part
having
of
a son already that was born and still. Come on, man. That's admirable.
To show him pictures now.
I've already admired you. I admire you even more, man.
Thank you,
man. Come on.
But to show him pictures now of him as a baby. Me carrying him with my cap and gown. I'm like, look, I did it late, but I did it.
There's never some such thing as late.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest excuse anybody can give.
It was
out.
my time to do it.
Yeah. It was. Of course, it was your time.
It was my time to do it because
you had the work ethic already, and now you going back to school just catapults you to becoming a successful man that you now are.
And to your point, if I would have gone to school after high school, I would have failed out. I wasn't there.
You wouldn't seen the interest.
No, I was working 3 jobs.
I was
graduating high school.
I was the same.
I wasn't thinking about school. My mom was like, my parents like, we got to work. So,
by the way, I'm a high school dropout.
Are you?
Yeah.
And look at you now.
Because I went back to school.
Huh.
I got so my addiction as a kid was, I started at a young age where my mom had a situation that she got, they didn't pay her salary for like 2 months. And I was put in a situation where now I'm the kid selling Miami Herald subscriptions to be able to give my mom some money so we can maintain that roof.
Mm-hmm.
And right after that, I got addicted to money.
Survival. You did it out of survival. And you was like, oh, no, wait, this pays? Oh, hold on.
Hey, man.
It's.
But then dropped out 11th grade, and then I had to go back to school. to be able to sit myself here as a businessman.
Yeah.
Get my GED, get my technical trade. So I feel you on that. It's not that it's so much harder, but it's so much more rewarding when that comes into life, because I did it out of survival. But at some point in my life, I had and I have the most beautiful mentor that relined me up and said, that's not the route you're going.
Yes,
You already did what you had to do.
Yeah.
Now let's realign yourself to the person that you're supposed to be. I had that gift in my life. Like you're saying, now that you're walking with your son, so much more rewarding, man, because it would have been easier before. I don't choose the easy route, man.
I tend not to choose the easy route either.
I don't like the easy route.
It's funny because I have a young associate now at the branch, and he goes, "Oh, you like things the hard way." I was like, "You may see it the hard way, but
it's more rewarding.
It's more rewarding. It's fulfilling, and in my eyes, in my approach, it's the better way. Now, my way is not your way,
right?
But if you take anything from me that I'm willing to teach you, and you're willing to learn, more importantly, because I'm from the tribe, each one teach one, right?
Correct.
Like, if I know something, I can't wait to tell you. To make you better, if I can make you better, I can't wait to tell you. I can't wait to show you, because telling you is one thing, but showing you. So I like to show. Now, I may be a little rough. My approach may be a little different, but I want to show you because I want your learning curve to be shorter than my learning curve. I want you to learn so much faster than I did because I want you to be more successful. Like, that's my reward.
That's yeah.
That's my reward.
And that has been my mentor's reward, by the way. We're in the same business, and just by him acknowledging and being proud of me has been my biggest reward than any money can buy.
Yeah.
You know? That's what I did it for, because he was sitting on that chair the other day and I was like, this is all I done. This is all I did it for. Because I think I owe you so much for teaching me so much.
For giving me the
all I wanna do in this life before you go is make you proud. And every chance I have to tell him this, we're having lunch the other day, and I told him, Theo, how do I make you proud, bro?
How do I do it? Tell me, how can I do it?
How can I make you proud? And he's like, you already are. You've been doing it. I'm like, no,
not yet. I want to do more.
You don't get it, because I'm trying to now fulfill the dreams you once spoken to my ears. I'm going to make them happen. And that's my biggest goal.
You are making them happen, though.
Thank you, brother.
You are making them happen.
Sorry, it's more about you, but the reason why behind that story is because we keep having a similar story behind us. I need that.
There's a lot of stories like ours, right?
Yeah,
different
man.
Place, different times, different names.
You're damn sure right. Every time we get together, this shit happens, bro.
But it's the connection,
life, bro. It's the connection.
It's the energy. I mean,
fuck yeah, man.
First time we met, literally first time we met. Hey, hi, how are you? My name is Peter. Hey, my name is George. Hey,
boom,
boom. 7 minutes later, we're tearing. Why?
Anybody would have come into the office like this two big ass dudes, because everybody that knows me or sees me from an outside perspective, I'm the meanest guy out there. But then you get to my heart, and that's it. You know. So Pete, man, it's wow, man. Let's jump into the questions, so we can give some nuggets back.
Sure.
What? Now we know obviously why you're so successful, but I'm intrigued on how you got into the HVAC world.
So I'm getting finished to graduate, right?
Yeah.
And in school, I was part of like 4 different student organizations, right? Because you're in school, they teach you, hey, you're part of this organization, they teach you how to do this. And they prepare the students, the college students about to graduate, how to go into the labor force, how to interview, how to wear a suit, how to give your pitch. In my mind, I'm like, my resume, right? My job experience, my life experience, I've worked eons over these kids. Not that I'm like, oh, look at me. No. Yeah. But I have the job experience.
Right.
I'm now looking for the technical hey, hi, nice to meet you, elevator pitch, suit and tie,
Yeah.
professional experience, right?
Yeah.
So I joined these student organizations. I met a lot of great people, a lot of, guys that I'm still in contact to this day. And they prepare you for these career fairs, right? So from my junior year, I'm doing career fairs, trying to get an offer. So when I graduate, I have a soft spot to land, right? A job, an offer. And I'm career fairs and I go and I interview and I got a lot of good interviews, right? Um, got a lot, not a lot, but I got a decent amount of offers. One thing, I'm big on culture, right?
Right.
I've seen a lot. So I want to see where your business resides. I want to see your people. So anytime that I had an opportunity, I was like, hey, can I visit your offices?
Yeah.
Before or after the interview, can I just see your offices? Can I walk the grounds, right?
Right.
And a lot of the common thread was everybody was like this.
There's no energy behind.
Energy. I'm an energy guy. I feed off of energy, right?
Yeah.
I know how to bring life quick, but I also need it back because then that's my charging fuel. Like that's how I keep going. If I just give, like your phone dies out, like you run out of battery. So a lot of interviews, a lot of offers, nothing, right? Senior year, I graduate now. Now I'm graduated, now I'm not I don't have a job. I'm working, but I don't have a job. I don't have the career that I want to go into. I go back and sit back, talk to an advisor. They was like, listen, we have another career fair coming up. I was like, wow, but I never graduated. It was like, it's fine. You're still a student. You're still eligible. Like you have access to the grounds. I'll sign you up. So this career fair, again, I get prepped for it. I start doing my homework. All the companies are going to be there. I get a little map of where they're going to be. And I map out my rounds, right? I do my homework on the companies, their businesses, their last year's earnings, like their needs, where I see I can be a potential help to them, right?
Right.
So after I do my 4 rounds, I'm like, all right, I went through everybody on my checklist, right? I see a little booth, a little table there, and it says Ferguson on it. And I literally walk up.
Who did you meet there?
Our GM, right? Mr. Jeremy Barnes. And I'm like, hey, what's Ferguson? And he goes, you know anything about HVAC? I was like, absolutely not. But I did install my own Nest thermostat watching a YouTube video. But if you're willing to teach me, I'm willing to learn. I kid you not, those were my words, verbatim. He goes, all right. He goes, all right, give me your pitch, right? So I go, hey, my name is Peter Noble. I have a 4-point blah, 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 GPA, blah, 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 blah. I was part of this club, blah, blah. I give him my pitch, right? He's like, okay, you have a resume? I was like, absolutely, sir. I get the good resume paper, good print, like, like do things the right way. But here you go, sir. They teach you, hey, could I have a business card? He goes, no, you may not, right? Because he doesn't want people calling him. And I was like, if we're interested, we'll call you. But I see before I get the chance to speak to him, they were, taking people's application and putting it in a folder. When he took my not application, but he took my resume, he put it in a different folder. So in my head, I'm like, all right. I don't know if that was like the no folder or the yes folder, but I was like, all right. Fast forward, like, I don't know, month and a half later, I'm on my way to the gym, and I get a call from I guess one of the recruiters. It's like, hey, we've been trying to contact you for 3 weeks. I was like, that's weird. I was like, I haven't received a phone call. I haven't received an email. They was like, are you available for an interview? I was like, absolutely. It was like, oh, it's one of those, like, like a Zoom interview or whatever. I was like, absolutely. Bust a U-turn, go home. I'm still in shorts, basketball shorts. I put on my shirt, put on my tie, put on my jacket.
Bam.
Basketball shorts, though. And I sit at my table, get my resume, go through the interview process, love, right? They was like, okay, we'll call you back in 10 minutes. I was like, okay. 10 minutes comes, like, hey, are you able to come for the final round of interviews? It's a 2-day process. I was like, absolutely. They was like, oh, it's in Virginia, though. I was like, yeah, I'll be there. In my head, I'm like, I'm working, but I'm, got no money. Like, can't get to myself to Virginia. Like, but I told them I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. And
you made it there.
I call my wife, and I was like, hey, babe, next week I gotta go for an interview.
What?
She's like, okay. I was like, but it's in Virginia. What? I was like, and it's 2 days. What? They're like, yeah. Actually, it was 3-day interview. And she's like, how are you going to get there? I was like, well, I don't know. They're going to call me back. So they call me back. They're like, okay, so we're ready to set you up. email us your ID, your passport, this, that, or whatever. We'll book the flight for you, the hotel, travel arrangement, pick up. I was
Not so bad. But you committed.
I committed.
Yeah, you committed.
But they took care of the airfare, all that. So I was like,
God took care of it. It was God's willing work, man.
So I go to the interview, and again, they're doing like this is the final round. So there's about 300 people at this hotel.
Wow.
Right. But here's the kicker, though. Right. We get there, we meet. Everybody's meet and greet. Right. Every Ferguson associate was there. Hey, hi, how are you? Hey, my name is Peter. Hey, what's your name? Oh, my name is such and such. My name is such and such. Everybody's like this. Smile, ear to ear. Hey, how long you been with Ferguson? Oh, 15 years. Hey, how long you been with Ferguson? Oh, I'm going on 32 years. Hey, how long you been with Ferguson? Oh, this is my second time with Ferguson. I was with Ferguson for 6 years. I left for a year. Now this is my second time. So I've been there for 7 years, so 15 years total. Like, wait, what?
What?
So, but everybody's like this.
What's happening?
I'm like, and again,
this is the energy you've been looking for.
I'm like, okay, but now again, I'm older.
You're feeding that, you're getting that energy back, so you're pumped up, you're ready to go.
So I'm like, oh, I have to crush these interviews, because they put you through a series of trainings, and they talk about the company, and then they the day of the actual interviews is 3 interviews, like back to back to back, with like head honchos, right? So I'm like, I gotta crush. I have to crush. I go to my interview. I'm already prepped. I'm already, like psychological. Like, all right, if they ask me this, I have to answer with it. Game planning,
Yeah.
I game plan. I interview. I believe I interview well. I think I interview well. Right. I'm here.
Hello.
And I get back, and like a week later, they was like, hey, we would like to extend an offer. I was like, yeah. Sold. I'm in.
Sold.
I'm in. So from there, get to Doral, to the branch, and went through the process of the College of Ferguson. And
Doral wasn't the branch it is now.
It's not. It was a younger branch, so it was an acquisition from at the time.
Yeah. You so okay, because that moves forward. When I met you, that you were at the counter.
It was already when you met me, I was already a manager.
Okay.
I was already a manager, but I started at the counter, and with the 2 angels of Donnie and Edita, like.
So Donnie and Edita were already there.
Yeah,
they were already Ferguson's group.
Yes, because they were the owners.
Yeah, no, I know the whole story.
So they were the
because
owners.
that's who I originally know.
Yes.
But let me give you what I saw.
Okay.
Because it's in one of my questions that I was gonna ask wrong.
Sure.
But you're already a manager, but you're so humble that you were working in the counter.
Yeah.
So when I first met you, I just had started my business. Well, I know Donnie for
eons.
10
sure.
plus years.
Yeah.
He knew me when I was a 19-year-old kid just trying to get it.
Yeah.
And then I come into the counter, you're a manager, but I assume that you're just the counters guy.
Yeah, because you probably saw me with a vest, with a safety vest or something.
Yeah. Humble, man. So let me just scratch that question off, take it out of the way.
Yeah, no, it's listen.
But so you get to Ferguson, you get to meet, of course, Donnie and Edita, which shout out to them. I love you guys. If you ever see this, like, this is the one reason why we're sitting also together, 100%. Because you put us together by the loving heart of you guys. And I'm so thankful to you guys that I can't even explain. Extremely thankful to you guys. And look at it here. We're a testimony of it. So you're a manager working at I went there. I just had opened my business, and I thinking you're
a counter guy. Yeah, no. Well, I started at the counter.
Yeah.
I started at the counter, and within my 5 months of training through the College of Ferguson, when the 5-month period was up, I quickly became inside sales, right? Because I was like, oh no, like, again, that shortening that learning curve and wanting to fail fast.
Yeah.
So I always tell everybody, especially newer guys, like, lean on Edita, lean on Donnie, because they're a wealth of knowledge. I always say, like, Donnie's a walking...
And they're an open book. They don't hide anything.
Almanac, like, you
ask
them
they're not
anything,
afraid of hiding anything.
Nothing.
That's why they hold the position.
My type of people, right? Because you know something. Like,
you were looking for energy, and they gave you Donnie.
Oh, 100%. So I would tell Edita, especially when I first started, I didn't know nothing about HVAC. I didn't know what a capacitor was. I have to be.
Wow.
I had guys that are good friends to me, the technicians that are good friends with me to this day, that they busted my chops when I first started, asking me for, like,
everybody does that.
Yeah, like, busting my chops.
Everybody does that.
And I'm like, yes, sir, give me 1 second, sir. And I'm just there.
And they're just busting
and
your
they're
ass.
just there like that. And I look over, and he's like, he's messing with you. Just stop. And he's like, guys, stop. And I'm like, oh. Mind you, I'm over here like, yes, sir. 1 second, sir.
Especially because you're in Miami.
I-
They're gonna bust your balls.
But it taught me right away. Oh no, don't take this too seriously. But
but always keep the seriousness. Also,
100%. But they're leaning into that relationship, right? Me not knowing, right? Because again, now to this day,
but that interest of you getting that resolved or
and
getting
not only
that
that,
part.
like I was so determined of finding this part that doesn't exist for them. I'm here Googling, like I'm everywhere.
Determined.
All the jump words in our system, I'm trying to find what they're asking for. Which again, if I'm not afraid, but I'm shy to say it on camera. What like 3-phase capacitors with something like they just put parts together. And I was like, I need that. I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, 1 second, sir. I'm just there.
Maybe we'll come up with it one day.
One day, right? No, yeah, big business, right? Big business. But with that said, 5 months into the counter, just learning.
You were looking for knowledge again.
Learning.
You're always looking for knowledge.
I was always asking.
In your
questions.
story, I see that you come back looking for knowledge because you're a manager. You get the manager position.
Oh sure.
But you go to the most humble place, which is the counter.
Yeah.
Go through all that.
That's where you learn the most.
I would call it all the Miami Cuban.
Yeah. All the lingo.
All the shit.
All the lingo you learn.
And then now, fast forward, you're an account manager.
Yeah. So I'm a territory manager now.
Territory manager.
Yeah, outside sales, right? It's a fancy word for outside sales.
Yeah, territory manager.
Territory manager. Yeah.
So you went from just being a manager to a territory manager.
Yeah.
In what period of time did you achieve that?
So
Because I remember you were there, model. Next time I come, it's like 8 months later.
Yeah.
And you're already a territory manager.
Yeah. So within 5 months of my career in Ferguson, inside sales, a year and 9 months later, or into my career, became branch manager. In about 3 years and change, got the chance to become a territory manager. So
congratulations.
So thank you, man. So literally, what's the date? The 20.
Today is the 21st. Is it
21st
or 22nd?
22nd. So yesterday,
I live by the joy.
6 years with Ferguson. Yesterday.
6 years.
6 years. My first day was January 21st, 2019.
Wow.
So again.
Wow.
So why, if in 6 years I got inside sales, I got branch manager, I got territory manager, and again, right place, right time. Right? It's not the same for everybody. Right place, right time. But again,
it's the energy behind it. It's the interest behind it.
Preparation.
It's preparation. You've been preparing yourselves since you were a little kid.
For the opportunity of availability.
Yeah.
So if the branch manager position at the time wasn't available.
Because a lot of people want the opportunity, but they don't meet.
Oh no,
they don't meet opportunities.
No.
So I'd rather be prepared for an opportunity to come.
Yeah.
Than have that opportunity show up in my life, and once that door is closed, man, it's so hard for it to open.
It's so hard for it to come back around again.
To open that door again is so hard.
So going back to all my jobs over the years, always wanted
going to Puerto Rico and getting your Spanish better,
100%.
To be able to work in that branch.
So being able to sit at the counter and talk Spanish, and after a while, I tell people, oye, por favor, perdóname, pero el español mío se me acabó. So now I got to tell you in English. Because after a while, like, I only have so much.
Right.
Then I'm like, okay, dame un minuto. Let me recalculate. Let me recalibrate. And let me finish up in English. Then I'll come back to Spanish. But I have to be honest.
Of course. Because your first language is English.
100%. But I've learned a lot. I've learned the industry. I've learned, and I'm still learning. Right? I have a great mentor of JC. He's been in the industry for over 30 years.
Wow.
Sales, like,
wow.
He knows this business. And in this market, better than I don't know anybody else, right? So I've learned so much from him. I continue to look for information from him, right? Because every time we sit and we have these little one-on-ones, it might be 5-6 minutes. He drops a little gem. I'm like, boom. I like that. Boom.
What? So, what has been your biggest obstacle or challenge in your career?
What was, what is, and until I get better at it, is delegating, letting others help me. It's so hard.
So hard to delegate.
It's hard, man.
I know.
I'm a doer. I like to do. Not only I like to do, I like to perfect. Even though there's no such thing as perfection, I like to perfect. I like to get as close as possible to perfecting the process. It's not so much the end, right? Like the end is gonna be the end, but the process of getting there.
Correct.
I'm so focused on that it's hard for me to like say, oh, hey, George, can you, without me giving you my 5, 6, 7, 25 pointers, to do so. Instead of letting you just go and learn and then come back to me and be like, hey, I kind of need help here, then I can step in, which in theory, that should be the best way, right? Because like that, you're learning on the job, right? Or you're being practical with it. I want to give it to you so dissected and so perfected and so like a SOP, just giving to you like, but not only like saying it, but like, let me show you.
Yeah.
That's my biggest challenge. And to this day, it's my biggest challenge. It's my biggest challenge, yeah. But
so, how do you balance work and family?
That's a tough balance. Because as a salesman, right, my
We're
job,
talking about it outside.
yeah, my job relies on you calling me with an emergency,
Right.
because your customer has an emergency. So my responsibility is, yes, to answer your call, to take care of you, but I know in back of my head that your customer has to be satisfied. Because if your customer's satisfied, he or she is going to call you back, and in turn, because I picked up that call at 9 o'clock, I'm more than likely going to get that call back.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm worried about them. I'm a homeowner, so I put myself in the homeowner's shoes. When I was working in a different industry, I put myself as a consumer first. Although I was a manager, I was a buyer, I was in procurement, I was in manufacturing, I was in building. I put myself in the consumer first. What does the end user, right, want and need, right? So because of that, it's hard.
That was
right?
exactly my training this morning.
That it's hard.
Putting myself in like you're saying, putting myself in the situation of the consumer.
Yeah.
And as a sales guy that we are, that's what we got to do. But again, how do we draw that line between work and family?
Well, by the grace of God, right? You've been able to start with you. Now you have a team. The delegation,
yeah. That is still so hard.
Because you want to do it.
Yeah.
You know nobody's going to do it better than you.
Yeah, but this is a false theory, though.
100%. But in your core,
it's just
in your core, that's what you believe.
I'm taking that.
In my core, that's what I believe.
Of course.
Now I know there's 100,000 salesmen better than I am.
100%. But it's our belief.
But it's my core belief, and it's what helps me to keep going. Right now, along the way, when I meet another salesman, like I've had the pleasure of meeting and being still to this day being mentored by one, is that when they say something, listen, take it and apply it to what I do, because how they did it is not exactly how I'm doing it, but there's a gem, there's a lesson there that I can learn from each and every time. And that lesson might change as the situation approaches, right?
Yep.
But that balance between work and home, right? That's where your kingdom, right? You have to try your hardest to dedicate that time to your spouse,
yes,
to your kids, to your mom, your cousins, whoever. Even if it's brief, but just that when you're there, you're there.
Yeah.
Not you're there and then also here on your phone, right? So that's the hardest time for me, right? Like you said, or we were speaking earlier, dinner time, phone's down.
Yeah.
Right? Because the kids, iPad, this, the phone. My wife is like, hey.
0.
No iPad,
so
no
I just started reading this book that literally the page I read yesterday says, sometimes we think that we're present, but we're lost in the phone.
Oof. And that's so true today.
It's so I had this conversation with my wife saying, okay, we gotta be more intentional about our time together. Because when you're not on the phone, I am. So we're thinking we're spending time together, but we're not.
Yeah.
We're not even here.
Yeah.
We're not even present.
Yeah, we're
not even here. We're not even present. That's why I asked you the question, because you're a great guy, but we also need that time to family.
Yeah. No,
so,
I'm guilty of it. So I'm telling you from current experience right now, believe me, I hear you. I hear you. And by what you just said, we do have to be more intentional.
Yeah,
I agree with you wholeheartedly. We have to be more intentional.
Like you said, putting that phone on that work phone aside on Saturdays after a certain time.
It's hard.
It's an intention to give more intention to the one thing that's going to feed us to come back as a beast on a Monday.
100%.
Yeah. So what values guide you into being a better worker and to being a better family member?
Number one, integrity, right? Doing, again, this is going back to school, but learning the actual definition and honing in, right? Doing the right thing when nobody's looking. Integrity. So with that spawns off everything else, right? The hard work, the dedication, consistency, picking up your, like, all those things, but integrity. Having integrity in what you do. I don't care if, I used to clean toilets when I was younger.
Do it with integrity.
Integrity. My bathroom, when it was my turn to clean the bathroom, when I was working in that particular, when it was my turn to clean, the bathroom was spotless. Now, I figured out that the manager would always try to put me in that duty at the end of the shift because they knew the bathroom was going to be spotless.
Yeah.
I just figured out how to clean the bathroom faster and better, quicker and easier than having to spend or being, integrity.
Boom, boom. Yeah.
Doing the right thing when nobody's looking. Integrity.
Yeah.
Integrity. I stand by it. I live by it. Everything else.
I think, yeah, for sure, it's a pillar for me as well.
Everything spawns off of that, right? Who you are as a person, right? If I give you my word, I'm gonna give you my word, right? I'm gonna do.
My word carries so much more weight than any dollar sign in the world. So it's the one thing and last thing I got.
As a Miami term, my face clean, right? When your face is clean, like you good. You could walk anywhere like, nah, Peter good. Give him a shot. Give him an opportunity. Hear him out. My face clean. Like, integrity.
Yeah.
You know?
Pete, what advice would you give anybody that's watching that would like to get started on the HVAC industry?
Go to school. You're working right now? Go to school at night.
That's exactly what I did.
Go to school.
18 years old.
Learn the trade. Go work for somebody. Go work for free. Go offer somebody, hey, can I give you $50 a week? Let me ride along with you. Let me observe. I don't got to do anything. I just want to observe. Let me buy you lunch every day. Let
that
me
mentality
observe.
is long gone, by the way.
Let me observe.
But there's still people out there.
100%.
There's still people out there.
I know a few guys. I'm trying to do other life endeavors, and I'm talking to people. I'm like, oh, listen, do you need help?
Yeah.
You know, guys flipping a house.
Yep.
Can I be there? Can I just watch? Offer your services. Offer what you can do. What do you bring to the table? And then you'll learn. And people, you don't understand how quickly people will turn around and vomit the information. Vomit the information. Like, here, I want to give this information off.
And cats like you and I are willing to do it, which is
100%.
energy again.
100%.
What are you here to take? The money or the knowledge so that in the future you can make even way more money than I am?
Simple.
Simple as that.
Simple. Go to school. Learn. You don't want to go to school. You want to not. Cool. Go work for somebody. Yeah. And then eventually learn what they do and what they don't do, and then do it yourself.
Yeah.
But you have to learn. There is no shortcut to greatness. There's no shortcut even to being mediocre. There's no shortcut to that. Because you could be an average person, right? And I'm not because I don't think I'm great at anything, but I know I work hard at everything. If that makes any sense, right?
Yeah.
I'm successful in certain things, but I could be better in other things, right? But it's a matter of the intention and the integrity to go do that thing, go work. Again, work is nothing but a 4-letter word.
It's like I read a thing from Will Smith one day. He said, if we get on a treadmill, I'll die on the treadmill, but you won't outwork me.
I mean, goes to show you the passion, the dedication to it, right?
I still got on emergency calls. I was on emergency calls this all weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was the first one there, the last one to leave. And again, I'm in a situation where I don't have to.
You don't have to. But you
that's
do
what I do.
It's your integrity.
It's what I do.
It's
my passion behind what I do that takes me there.
Yep.
And I'm setting aside. My wife's in the car waiting. My wife and kid are in the car waiting for me to go solve that problem.
Yeah.
I went solve the problem, and I had to get back to the building. So I'm like, let's go have dinner. We had dinner. We came back to the building. Left like around 1 in the morning. I could have easily sent one of my guys.
Yeah.
But the way I see it is, how can you send somebody and not send yourself?
Yeah.
Integrity.
Yeah. And then the building manager is gonna see you and be like, "Whoa, it's Saturday. It's Sunday."
I called them up, and I called them up on a Sunday. On a Sunday. No, I'm the one here. The manager's calling me. Oh, you have somebody?
No, it's me.
It's me. I'm here.
here.
I'm the one here. What you mean, George? And then yesterday we were talking over the phone. I'm like, if you go back on the cameras, you're gonna see me getting out of the car and two more person in that car.
Yeah. Wife and kids.
Wife and kid. There's no cutting corners.
Sure.
But again, it comes down to I know I'm gonna get it right, and I don't have to sit here thinking that
What if?
whoever I sent
May
isn't
or may
gonna
not.
get it right. So I
Right.
must still have to go there.
Sure.
I just get it done
Yeah.
once.
Yeah.
I just get it done right then and there.
Yeah.
So what's the one thing you like and enjoy about your job, Pete?
Getting to talk to people, man.
I saw that coming, but I
mean,
just
that
had
was-
to.
that's
I
too
just had
easy.
to.
Boss,
I had
that's-
to.
that's
Yeah, but
too
people don't know
easy.
you. I do.
Boss, man, that's too easy, man. Listen, in our industry, in our business, there's competitors. There's 100 people that do the same thing, that sell relatively the same thing, right? But I'm a people person. I'm an energy guy. Like the fact that I get to be around people, different energy, different backgrounds,
Yeah.
being exposed, I'm expanding. Right? Not all my customers are from Latin descent.
Right.
I have American customers. I have Indian customers.
Of course.
I have
all types of
Palestinian, like I have customers. But to me, they're all humans. Like it doesn't matter. But now
And you get to learn from every culture.
a little bit.
A little bit of every culture.
So now next time I have a conversation, I know a little bit more about you.
Yeah.
So now I get to building blocks. I get to build on that and then learn more. They get to learn more about me.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Not every
Like I have.
Not every customer, not every person you meet in life is for you, right? So I approach the business this way, and I know it's a little bit counterintuitive to my role, right, and the company. But at the end of the day, I put value where value is needed, right? If I'm adding value, but you're trying to take the value away, like there's no mutual exchange,
Yeah.
right? From my eyes, I want to give you more than what I get.
Absolutely.
100% of the times, I want to give you more.
It's one of my roles in as a leader. It's just I always tell the
Give
guys
more.
not only give more, but go above and beyond.
100%.
Exceed every customer's expectation, and they're gonna want you back. That's your job, safety right there. That if you have the guts and you have the will power to go out there and go above and beyond,
Sure.
that customer is gonna want you back every single time. That building's gonna ask for you, and that's your job security.
It's a lasting impression.
It's a lasting impression. Wow.
First impression is big, right?
Yeah.
And it's true, right? But the lasting impression, impression, I think is better because you're always gonna be like, remember the first time I met this guy, but then, goddamn,
He still
what a guy.
he still brings on more.
What a guy.
And every
you gotta
time
meet Pete.
Yeah.
You got to meet George. You haven't met George? Oh, man, you got to meet George.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm excited to meet George.
Yeah, of course. And you don't even know me yet.
But now I'm excited though.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
That's what I want to give.
Yeah.
Like, damn, oh man.
100%.
You met, oh shit.
Pete, so now with all the exposure you've had of all different clients, all different backgrounds, the exposure you had in the back end of the HVAC industry,
Mhm.
where do you see the HVAC industry in 5 years from now?
The industry as a whole, that's a
Yeah.
tall.
What do you
that's a-
see the HVAC industry in the future?
That's a tall task. That's a tall order. I have to learn more about the HVAC industry to give you a better educated answer. Now, as far from my position at the moment, from my point of view, it's ever evolving. Obviously, we've had Department of Energy changes, new refrigerant changes that came into effect this year, new SEER rating changes. So that I get, from my understanding, that's happened, every 10, 15, 20
Yeah.
years in the
Yeah,
market.
last time it was 2015.
2015 with the R22, right?
Yeah, from R22 to
R410A. And now we're going 410A to R454 or R32, and I believe 2029-ish. I think they're gonna go a different route as well.
Yeah, it's
Something along those
evolving.
lines. It's evolving, right?
It's evolving.
So, but what does that tell me? It's still evolving. There's still more to come.
yeah.
New technology is gonna come out where it's gonna make your job easier.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna make my job harder because I have to learn more. But it's evolving.
Yeah.
Now, it's a trade and it's needed, especially in our market. It's needed. In every market is needed, but in this market is crucial.
That's what people don't understanding.
Crucial.
They'd rather do TikTok than they don't know where it's going.
Crucial.
They don't know what, like, this is blue collar work. This is the new billion-dollar companies.
Listen, I am ecstatic that I'm part of the company that I'm a part of, that I get to represent, be a representative of a company that I'm with, because not only in the side that I started with the HVC, but now since it's one conglomerate big of a company, like water, HVC, air, like industrial, like there's so many avenues that we get to tap into that it's scary of how good we're gonna have it in the future. Meaning from an employee. I'm an employee, I'm an associate, right, of this company. But just the fact that I know of the opportunities that are still out there,
Yeah.
that excites me. Because I know, again, job security, right? Leadership.
100%.
The leadership we have, the energy, right? It's hard for me to explain. Not hard for me to explain. It's easier for me to explain. It's hard for the younger associates to understand, right? Because it's a new generation, right? And I get it, right? But finding that common ground, finding that bridge to show, hey, look, I know this is what you know, but this is what's out there.
And this is where we're going.
This is where we're going. You're in the right place at the right time. Learn as much, fail as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Because if you fail fast, you're gonna learn faster.
And you're gonna succeed even faster.
In 2 years, a year. I mean, again, 5 months inside sales, a year, 9 months branch manager.
Energy.
Energy. But I was asking my manager, hey, what are you working on? Can I help you with that?
Yeah.
How do you run? What report is that? How do you do that? Can you show me? What did you do after you finish? Where do you turn it in? Why do you run that report?
You know how I know somebody's good or not? When I get to work myself and they don't take the tools away from me.
Oh,
that's no value.
Then I
was the type of tech where
let me help.
If you're above me, there was no way you're carrying the toolbox.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna snatch that from
you. I
you.
got you. Then go ahead.
Lead. For sure.
Lead me. Show me.
Just tell me what to do and I get to do it.
Where am I going?
That we still working on that. We're trying to give that value back to
it's gonna
the
get
new generation.
It's gonna get. It's persistent. It's consistency.
Yeah.
It's gonna get there.
It's leadership. It's energy that attracts. You know, it's energy that are gonna start to attract the better people.
Yeah.
So my very next question is a more personal question.
Sure.
What's that motor that keeps you going, that keeps you wanting more?
Not being satisfied. And I say that reluctantly because I am eternally grateful for where I'm at, eternally grateful for my family, for my wife, for my kids, my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, my family, my cousin. Like, I'm eternally grateful. Edita, Donnie, JC, like
everybody around
me.
That you attracted with your energy.
Our drivers, our warehouse man, everybody, you,
I see
crew,
it.
Miguel.
Yeah, we walk the floors.
I'm eternally grateful for where I'm at and what I'm doing and where I'm going, right? But just not being satisfied, wanting more, right? Knowing that there's more, I want more. And it's not because I need to have a possession, right? But
it's not about possession.
It's the journey. It's the journey. It's the how-to, the SOP, the process.
Yeah.
So I can give to the next.
Yeah.
Hey, I know you're behind me, but look, watch this. Look.
That takes me to the one and last question,
Oof.
the journey.
The journey.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
Oof. Humbly. And I've told this to several of my managers, right? Or anybody that gives me the 5 minutes to meet to tell them. I want to be, and I'm working towards to be in the top of the salesman, but not only for HVAC, for dual trade, for HVAC and plumbing, mechanical. So a dual trade contractor. I want to be one of the top salesmen in the States, looking to be in the President's Club. Like, I want to achieve those honors, right? I want to get on the dean's list.
Yeah.
I want to, and it's not to get the pat in the back and the attaboy, because I learned this long time ago from one of my earlier mentors. Like, you know,
it's a gift for an internal heart.
100%.
It's a kid. Is that gift for that kid that made it?
Yeah. So
we all have that made it moment.
yeah, man. compliments are cool, right? But they don't pay bills.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I was younger, again, different New York mentality, they would say CTC, cut the check, right? CTC, cut the check. And I was like, oh, keep the compliments. Keep the compliments, cut the check.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But as humans,
We need the compliments.
we need the compliments, right? Because
we need the titles. We need the
it's an
accomplishments.
affirmation of
we
success
need the
and all that.
diplomas. We need the status.
Sure, the plaque on the wall,
The plaque
hey,
on the-
look,
yeah.
Walk into my office. You don't really need it. It's a nice thing to have, right? But for me, it's more the getting there.
And I want to help you get there.
Oh, we're gonna get there.
So I started with HVAC, and I know soon to come we had this conversation.
Oh yeah,
where
yeah,
you said dual trade.
yeah.
And I'm also right there.
Yeah, I
right
know you
then
are.
and there with you.
I know.
bro.
Why you think I'm more excited
Yeah.
about the conversation maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago?
Yeah.
Because I know now, he's on the same boat.
Yeah.
He's seeing the same thing I'm seeing.
No, and I have leaders. I have, like I said, I have my very mentor sat down with me here, and you said you have now strategically found that you're in the service business. While being in the service business, you're gonna now provide
Sure.
dual trades.
Sure.
So
They work hand in hand.
yeah,
They work hand in hand.
And I'm so pumped up that I can have that one representative that you are, that are also my friend, to help me
Thank you, man.
through that journey.
Yeah.
Because I'm stepping in also to the unknown,
So am I.
where, like you said, now I'm gonna step into the unknown where I don't know jack about plumbing.
So
I'm gonna need more of your assistance. I'm
Sure.
gonna be on those calls, and I
Sure.
could have not chosen a better guy.
Sure.
And I think Edita would have now given me a better person.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pete, for
No,
being
thank
here.
you. Thank you, man.
What a blessing, brother.
Thank you. God
It's
bless.
an honor. It's an honor to have had you and had such an
Hey,
amazing conversation.
Anytime you
with you, bro.
wanna chop it up, I'm here for it.
For
man.
sure, man. For sure.
This is nothing. Again, I'm a talker. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
There's a lot to come. There's
Yeah.
a lot to build.
I see it.
I
see it. We're
So,
building it. We're
as
building
we
it.
go.
I'm a
And-
business owner, but I also need your backup. I need your
100%.
expertise, and I need all that heart that you always given us.
Energy. I'm
Energy,
gonna give you
baby.
energy.
Energy.
Everything that comes
100%.
along with that is gonna just be energy. A lot of energy.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring the energy, and with that comes the
can't-
work, the calls.
can't
the
wait,
this,
man.
I got you.
I can't wait. Can't wait. Pete, so let us know, where do we find you?
You can find me at home because I got to go back to my wife and kids. Nah, man. On the social media, I'm on Instagram. I don't really post that much, man. I'm into family, man.
Yeah.
But
As a sales guy, that
guy-
one account guy that is looking through the cameras.
Yeah.
Where do we find you?
well, I'm mainly in Doral, but I'm everywhere. So I'm from Homestead to Palm Beach. So if you need me, you call me. I'll be there. 588-305-588-4791. 305-588-4791. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you. God bless to everybody.
Guys, it's been an honor, and I can thank you enough for being here.
Thank you, man.
Stay tuned, subscribe, all the above. Let's get it.
Come get it.